You represent so many great women of the past, now putting women's ranch bronc riding on display once again at this historic venue. What does this title mean to you?
Oh, I don't know. I can't even put it into words, really. I'm so thankful to be able to ride at the daddy of them all, and it's such a cool rodeo, and everyone here is just so nice, and it's just so fun. And yeah, to represent women's ranch broncs, it's amazing, and I'm glad that I can show up and all us girls can show up and put on a good show. Yeah.
In 1904, women stepped into the Cheyenne Frontier Days arena boldly and bravely, and they have not left since. Once was a women's dominated sport of the ranch bronc has now turned into something we get to see special happen at the Cheyenne Frontier Days as we congratulate Blayne Bedard, the 2026 WRBC World Champion. Blayne, thank you so much for joining us here today on the show. I'm so curious, can you feel the history when you step into the arena?
Oh, absolutely. The Cheyenne Frontier Days and daddy of them all, it's such a historic rodeo, and I'm so thankful to get to be a part of it, and that they have women's ranch broncs. Like, that's amazing that they have us there to ride, because it is such a historical rodeo. Just even we had pictures on Friday in the morning, and it's just quiet before, and it was so cool to just take it all in before kind of the craziness. And yeah, it's really awesome.
Blayne, are there any women of the past that you look up to and emulate your riding after?
Not really, honestly. I'm really bad with my history, actually, but I just know that there was a lot of really amazing women that came before us, and I want to try and make them proud and make all the future women of Rough proud, and just do the best that I can. And yeah, there's a lot of people currently that I try and take my riding after, but of the past, I just really look up to the women of the past who made it possible for us to ride today. It's kind of what I do.
You're definitely blazing your own trail, but talking about a historic arena and the history that you are making yourself. For young cowgirls to look up to. What was going through your mind when you were stepping over the back of the buck and chutes, getting ready to nod your head for these great rides, because you put yourself in a great position there with that 70-point ride on Saturday and then came back with a 75 to win it all. Take us through these moments, jump for jump.
Well, so I've been trying to really focus on just my ride, actually. So when I'm getting onto those chutes, I don't even really look up into the stands, because I just want to focus on me and this horse, and it's us together, and he's trying to do his best to get me off, and I have to try my best to stay on. But yeah, when I get onto those back chutes, even when I'm saddling my horse up behind in the alleyway, I'm just focused on my ride, what I need to do, and I try not to overthink it, because that's a big problem that I have, is overthinking my rides. And then once we get up onto the chutes, it's just so fast. It's boom, boom, boom. Like, they want you out. You're getting on when the other girl before you is getting on, and it's quick. And I honestly really like that, because it doesn't give me time to overthink, and I can just focus on what I need to do and getting my saddle ready, getting my rein measured. And then once I climb over those chutes, I'm just thinking about me and that horse and giving it my all. Big thing that I try to focus on is staying back, lifting my rein, and keeping my feet forward. I really get my feet right up as far as I can in the chute, so I'm...
Sounds like we might have lost our world champion cowgirl for just a moment, but I really like what she was getting into, talking about being able to break down these rides, talking about her game plan for how to keep everything lined up, keeping a lift on that rein right there. But Haley, it's been really fun to get to know her and hear kind of what's going through her mind. Like I said, jump for jump.
It is, because the ranch bronc is way different than the saddle bronc. These girls are holding on to their night latch. They have to ride completely different than how we see the guys ride. So knowing that much she focuses on different things is pretty interesting.
It really is. Oh, and I'm just getting word that we have her back now. Blayne, we've got you back. I loved the explanation you were giving us about the things that you were focusing on. Can you continue that explanation for the fans?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, once I get into the shoot, I'm really focused on my ride and what I need to do. My main focuses personally are, lifting that rein and then keeping my feet forward. When I first started out riding, my feet would come back a lot and then I'd go head over tea kettle right in front of the horse. So I really try to stay back, keep my feet forward, and then I get my feet as far up as I can into those shoulders. I've been told before that I don't need to mark them out because we're in women's ranch broncs, so you don't need to. But I'm just like, well, that's how I like come out. It just sets me up for success, I feel. And then yeah, I lift and bear down, nod my head, and that gate opens, and take those first few bucks, see how the horse feels, and once I feel like I'm in rhythm, then I can really start spurring. So the first day, I didn't really get into rhythm till later on in my ride, and then I finally started spurring. But on Sunday on Bugatti, he was such a nice horse, really nice, honest, and came out, and after I think a few bucks in, I felt a rhythm and I just started going at it, throwing my feet as hard as I can. Sometimes when you're up there, you feel like you're really throwing your feet, but it doesn't really look like you are that much. So then I was really trying to exaggerate while I was up there and just stay back, throw your hips forward and stay in the seat, mind in the middle.
No, that's a lot to focus on. That is so much, and you've honestly created your own style in the event as well. But we also saw earlier the results from the rest of the pack in the top 5 that finished alongside you. There's a lot of camaraderie in the women's ranch bronc riding. Talk to us about the sisterhood that you all have created going down the road on the road to Cheyenne.
It's really great. Honestly, I've made so many friends through ranch broncs and women's ranch bronc riding. I just feel like, you know, it's a new up-and-coming sport. We're getting a lot more girls, but there's still not a lot of us, and so we have like kind of a smaller little group, and we're all trying to do the same thing. We're all putting our life on the line doing this, and we all love it. It's such a huge passion, and everyone who's in it just wants to be there so much and get better, and everyone's so nice and kind in it. I've really made a lot of friends, and as for Cheyenne, like, you're the top 3 from every country going, and you kind of help each other out, make sure that you're feeling good. And I was really lucky with the girls that I got this year, Bailey Zwolke and Ruby Bellauer, that I went with. They're both amazing riders, such great people, and I really enjoyed going to Cheyenne with them. It was so nice, and it was nice to see some familiar faces and have some friends there. And then it was great to meet all the other girls from around the world, because in each country, ranch broncs is almost a little different, and it's cool to hear all the differences between the places and meeting all these girls. I met Amelia Baker and Athena Rivera last year, but other than that, everyone was new, and even this year I got to talk with everyone a little more, and it was really nice. It was so great, and that's one of the things that I love so much about women's ranch broncs is all the people that I meet and the friendships and camaraderie, because we're all there to win and to do the best that we can, and we want to win, but at the same time, you want your fellow companions and ranch bronc riders to do good and have safe rides, and yeah, just have fun and make some friends hopefully along the way too.
In such a grueling sport, you have to have that with you. And the sisterhood that you guys are building is really impressive to watch. Your riding, even more impressive. Congratulations on the win, Blayne.
Thank you very much.
Wow, to watch what she was able to get done in Cheyenne and across Canada, world champion right there. We are not done seeing Blayne Bedard just yet. She's got a lot of history to make, and she already has. Congratulations again.
Still ahead on the show today, Jordan Briggs, our pro fantasy rodeo guru, shows who you should pick this week, what the odds are, and how they are in your favor.
And later on in the show, we've been bringing you all of the action from the Utah Days of 47 Rodeo Performance 2 happened last night, and we will give you those results and prepare you for Performance 3.
Whaley Sharon goes to number 1. And Cash, you're in the money.
Holy smoke, 17-22.
TJ Gray, one of the top 5 Cowboys in the world. An unbelievable ride, 88.5 points.
Not just our contestants inside the arena that can win big. You can win big too, and you can play rodeo picks at profantasyrodeo.com. We've got the Cheyenne Frontier Days and the Utah Days of 47 that are already underway as we welcome you back into the Cowboy Channel studios right here on Western Sports Roundup. It's that time of the week again where we get to bring you our guru, our Pro Fantasy Rodeo guru, that is to get you ready for everything you need to know. Our good friend Jordan Briggs joining us yet again. It's nice to see you, my friend.
It's good to see you all too. It's nice to be on Western Sports Roundup with you two.
We're always having a lot of fun here, but let's talk about some of these contestants that are having a lot of fun at the rodeos as well. We had Shad Mayfield bringing into the season a little bit later on, and Haven Medjid obviously has been having a lot of success, but these are some guys that you are watching this week.
Yeah, Haven Medjid has been impressive. 7-time NFR qualifier, 2019 world champion. He wins the NFR Open, banks $15,000 for our Christmas in July players that have him on their team, won a little over $11,000 in Salinas. Haven moved from 8th in mid-June all the way to number 3 in the world in just over 30 days. I think being a new dad suits him very well and has got some new fire lit under him. And then speaking of that new fire, Shad Mayfield returning from injury. I saw a quote that he had talked to his buddy and said that he wasn't feeling too great about it, was thinking about going back home. And then he watched him tie and said, man, did you see how good you just tied? I don't think you need to go home. I think you need to lay into it. So he did, and he did really well. He ended up taking 3rd, 1st, and 2nd place round finishes at the NFR Open. He was 3rd and 1st to be our Salinas champion. So if he's looking for a little boost to get back in the swing of things, that was a pretty darn good one.
I would say so, Jordan. The fact that he came from the back of the pack in the short round at Salinas to number 1, tying a 9-2 with a 35-foot score, if that's not wanting it, I'm not sure what is.
Yeah, if he was looking to knock the rust off, I think he did it in Salinas.
That he did, but we've also seen some great action happening in the breakaway roping as well. Josie Connor is one of those that we always keep our eyes on, but Cheyenne McCartney, the show she's putting on this summer has been nothing short of spectacular.
Yeah, Josie ended up winning the final round in the average at Salinas. She was a 3.9-second run. She banked $8,900 there and then made a horse change along the way, going from Dutch to Baby, and it clearly worked out really well for her. She had a decent Calgary, won $6,500 there. So the fans that have her on their team are feeling pretty good about things right now. She moved from number 9 to 7 in the world since we set our salaries for the Christmas in July game, and I think she can carry that steady momentum all the way through the National Finals of Breakaway at the end of the year. And then moving on to Cheyenne, I mean, she won the big one. She got the Calgary checks, $69,500 after her first place finish in round 1 and 2, plus a second in round 3. And then Cheyenne was 1st in round 2 at Salinas to win $3,900, 2nd place in round 2 of Salt Lake. So she moved from 11th all the way to number 1. And obviously that Calgary win helped her with that, but that's a massive move in that shorter period of time. So Cheyenne is on fire right now.
But you know what, Jordan? Josie Connor would be my rodeo picks for Days of 47 because she just set a brand new arena record that she had already previously held on Dutch. This arena is right up her alleyway. I'm excited to see how that turns out.
You bet. And like we were talking about a minute ago, when it comes to rodeo picks, you can start from scratch. You didn't have to be in the game at the beginning for Christmas in July. Every finals, we have a new game for rodeo picks. And picking the person that you think is going to have the fastest time or the highest score is what matters in that game.
Speaking of the games and getting your picks in, we're wrapping up the Cheyenne Frontier Days and Days of 47 this weekend. Is there anyone you've got your eye on, or maybe some advice you might have for the fans at home that might want to join now?
The best advice that I've got for them is just to make sure they play. On Saturday and Sunday, we'll have a game that comes open. The first one will be the 25th for Utah Days of 47 final round. And then on Sunday for the 26th, it'll be Cheyenne Frontier Days final round. And they can just go to profantasyrodeo.com. It's completely free for them to play this game. And the person with the most correct picks will win a prize from Yeti and STS Ranchwear. And then if they happen to get every pick correct on one of those rounds, they can win $10,000. And that's for playing a game that is 100% free.
Oh, wow, there is plenty of things to look forward to, from the prizes to the money you can take home and all that, thanks to our friends over there at Pro Fantasy Rodeo. But Jordan, our guru, thank you so much for being here and letting us all know everything we need to know, and we'll be talking with you soon.
It's always fun to be here. Have a great day.
Yes, sir. Jordan Briggs, our good friend, our Pro Fantasy Rodeo guru. We're not done yet. Next on Western Sports Roundup, speaking of the Utah Days of 47 in Salt Lake City, I brought you the action from Performance 2 last night. We'll let you know who is moving on to that gold medal round on Saturday. Stay with us. This is Western Sports Roundup.
The summer rodeos have been going right on by, right before our eyes. We're at 93 rodeos, 326 performances, and you can catch every minute of it on the Cowboy Plus app. Just scan this QR code, download the app for yourself so you can watch any rodeo 24 hours, 7 days a week. We're nearing the end of the season, so you won't want to miss the action.
And speaking of some of that great action, I was a part of the action from the Utah Days of 47 Performance 2 that took place last night, and we've already sent a couple other great contestants we will be seeing in the gold medal round on Saturday in the bareback riding. Now, this was an interesting way to get things started and tough. Start with a few wild rides and some buck-offs as we're thinking about our world champion Tim O'Connell. But Cole Franks is moving on right here. Cash and Carrie made a great ride on this one right here is the one that we're seeing. But last night it was Jess Pope and Cade Saunier that are actually going to be moving on from that set of bareback riders.
In the steer wrestling, it was the one and only strong man from Louisiana giving it the big guns to his sons in the stands. And watching at home, Rowdy Parrott, 9-6 on 2 head, very impressive. He's moving on, as well as Caden Greenfield. This rodeo is so quick, you won't want to miss the start, and your steer, he'll get a chance at a gold medal soon.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about another great run that we saw. Now this is Bryce Kreitz and Ross Ashford. They will be moving on in that #1 position. They're in the average. They're a 10-6 on 2 steers. That was a great way to get things started. Fastest in the average by nearly a second. But I also want to give some credit to some Oklahoma Cowboys. Justin James and Jackson Hill last night put together a 3.7-second run. Not enough to move them on, but plenty to get excited about.
Elise, you're telling me a 3.7 wasn't fast enough to get them moved on? That is insane. We've got a big old tie, though, in the saddle bronc riding between Jake Finlay, Cash Wilson, and Waitley Sharon. All 87.5 points. I wonder what the judges got so stuck on there, but very cool for all those guys to move on. Just Jake Finlay and Cash Wilson will be advancing onto the gold medal round. Really snappy rides from all 3 Cowboys.
And in the tie-down roping, you're going to take a look at an 8-3 that we saw from Britt Bedke right here, but that was a 16-3 on 2 that he was able to get put together to add another one. But last night, our fastest run, that was King Pickett with a 7.8-second run. However, Britt's 8 flat in round 1 in the 8-3 last night that we're taking a look at has him moving on from the pack alongside Bray Yor. These calves were just right for these guys to be able to capitalize and make some smooth runs as well in the tie-down roping. But it was just getting heated up in the arena.
And I think Bray was trying to get some brownie points from his future brother-in-law, Britt. You know, he needs all the extra credit he can get, make sure he goes first, and Bray was second, but Maddie Jacobs was 4-7 on 2 head there to go #1. And our new mama, Shelby Bosley-Medjid, came in there #2 to advance on to the gold medal round. Really impressive roping for both cowgirls. You don't always have to blast and be 1-7 to move on. You know, you can just turn in a couple of 2-second runs and be just right.
Sometimes smooth and consistent wins the race, and especially that's exactly what happened. Now, we had a lot of NFR qualifiers in the pack last night that we really were taking a look at and thinking we're going to be moving on, but it was 2 cowgirls. Carrie and Cross ran a 17-2-2 on this great yellow horse right here. I think the yellow horse is really like this arena. We already watched Carly Otero and Regina George, but Whitley Sharp will also be moving on from this performance as well. What a great set of cowgirls that we saw and some great runs put together.
Whitley Sharp mentioned building a nice pool at her house so she can watch the finals in it every December, and then she said, hey, I actually want to make sure I'm watching the finals or actually running there. So she discarded the pool dream, and now she's making good runs at Salt Lake to make sure she gets there. In the bull riding, it's TJ Gray, and guess who? Championship Pro Rodeo, 88.5 points.
This was a great one to see. TJ and Clayton Sellers will be moving on to the championship round and have their way with maybe some gold medals over the weekend, but we're not done yet. We've got some other athletes to see if they can check in. We've got Performance 3 coming to you later on this evening. I will be right here in the Cowboy Channel studio, and you can also catch that on Cowboy Plus. Of course, 10 o'clock Eastern, Performance 2, Utah Days of 47.
Welcome, Larry, the Cable Guy. $500,000 in career earnings and climbing. Hey. 71,000 this year for my bull rider down below. Grady Young. Come on, Connor. But Nebraska's Connor Halverson.
Well, you never know what you're going to see at an Xtreme Bulls, and you especially never know what you're going to see at an Xtreme Bulls and Nebraska. That was Larry, the Cable Guy, for the opening ceremonies at a huge bull riding event out there. And Larry, the Cable Guy, you know, he's a bull riding fan. I'm not sure how many bulls he's ever ridden in his lifetime, but I think maybe next Xtreme Bulls he goes, he should try to get on one, maybe a little hopper.
I think it's a perfect way to get things kicked off there in Nebraska, to get things ready for the rodeo action. But the Xtreme Bulls action was plenty hot with some great Butler bull right here with Ethan Skoquist and Havoc. Like I said, a Butler in Sens for 4th place, 81 points and $4,900. He's just coming off the NFR Open. He was 1 out of the short round, so I think he really had something to prove with this one. He's the Great Lakes aggregate champion from 2025, but a big check in the bank right here is certainly something to be excited about to get things kicked off there in Nebraska. That was only 4th place, Haley.
Yeah, almost $5,000 can get you a long way, especially in the bull riding. I'm sure he's driving a Prius and has 6 of his friends in there, so they can get as far as they need to. But Jace Trosclair comes in there at 3rd with Pimp in Distress from Salt River. $7,203 and 85 points is what he sent home, and I love that name. They're having some fun naming these bulls out there in Nebraska.
He's been rodeoing really smart this year. Number 19 in the playoff series and number 22 in the Xtreme Bulls. That's going to play a really big role in getting him to the NFR. But the number 21 man in the world, Grady Young, in the number 2 position. This is a great bull called So Hot from Salt River Rodeo. $9,000 and 87 points. He also just went 87 and 90 in Cheyenne. He's a Canadian bull rider and picked up a huge chunk of money there at the George Paul Memorial Xtreme Bulls. This is something that he has done really well at, but you couldn't get around the Nebraska man himself, Connor Halverson. It's not very often we get to see him in the PRCA side of things, but we're certainly tickled when he shows up.
Yeah, he matched up against Thigh Highs from Salt River for 87.5 and $12,030 is what he's taking home with him. You can see the scores for the Xtreme Bulls. None of them got too high, but none of them got too low. Really tight in there as far as the top 5 money earners go. And you can see the money that they won: $12,000 for 1st place and $3,000 for 5th place and 79 points. Really impressive for the Nebraska's Big Rodeo Division 2 Xtreme Bulls. We have it all on the Cowboy Plus app. You want to make sure you're always watching whatever you have on there. We have the Nebraska Big Rodeo, which ends Saturday. That's in Burwell, Nebraska. I'm sure the crowd there is very excited, very rodeo-heavy country up there, and they're going to see some big-time athletes as well, Elise.
You definitely want to have the Cowboy Plus subscription and be watching on the Cowboy channel as we bring you all of the action. But we've also brought you a lot of action today, and that's what takes us to our top 3 stories of the day. Presented by Fetterson Clean Treat Heal.
Yeah, we go to number 1. Barrel racing Julie Plord. She ends her 2026 campaign. She's hanging it up, putting the bridles in the trailer, and sending it all the way up north to Canada to her beautiful paradise, where she hopes to have a drink and get ready for 2027.
Canadian cowgirl is now a world champion and a Canadian champion, Blayne Bedard. We had a chance to catch up with her, the 20-year-old phenom in the women's ranch bronc riding, as she was joining us on the show.
And the story we've all been hoping to hear, the fairy tale ending. Dean Thompson is free of cancer, less than 10% chance of getting that cancer back after rigorous chemo treatments and all of the things he had to do to make sure he's cancer-free. He finally got the news we've all been hoping for.
That we have. Stay with us, everyone. We've got a lot of great rodeo action heading your way. The Cheyenne Frontier Days, I'll be bringing you that action from another semifinals event tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern all week long. That's coming up on your rodeo radar. But tonight, we've got more action from the Days of 47.
Yeah, we do. It's performance number 2 in Salt Lake City, Utah. the beautiful state of Utah. The sunsets are fantastic, and the gold medals, they'll be nice to win as well. A new set of Cowboys and Cowgirls looking to punch their ticket to Short Round Saturday.
That's going to do it for our Western Sports Roundup show with all of you today. We're certainly glad you are riding along with us. For Haley, I'm Elise. We'll see you later. Stay with us. Days of 47 come up later this evening.